Hey, how's it going? Just got my hands on some new Far Cry today with the Hours of Darkness DLC, and I'm going to give it a little overview and just go over the basics of what you can expect when playing it for the first time. So far I've put in about 5 hours, and this video will not contain any major story spoilers or anything like that, but I will be talking about almost everything on offer if you consider that spoilerish. So let's get started. The download size is about 4.6 gigs, and if you didn't already know, you'll be playing as Wendell Redler during the Vietnam War, and all the action takes place in hostile territory. It's a whole new setting surrounded with a lush green jungle, lots of points of interest, and a shit ton of enemies. When you first start the add-on, you will choose to either play on normal, survivor mode, or action movie mode. Survivor mode leaves you with less health and inventory space, and action movie mode allows you to deploy airstrikes without having to destroy AA guns, and also gives you full weapon slots. I chose to play on normal mode even though there are trophies tied to completing the other two modes. In terms of the actual story in the DLC, it's very light. Apart from the opening couple of minutes with a comic style intro, Hours of Darkness is mostly focused on mission objectives. Just like in the main game and previous Far Cries, you will have the option to follow the main critical path, or just fuck around and enjoy the sandbox. The new map is quite large. The only problem is, from what I've experienced, there has been no fast travel so far. You'll be mostly travelling on foot, and I'm not sure if the intention is to try to extend the game time of the DLC or not, but a couple of fast travel points would have been appreciated, even if they were spread far apart to save time traversing the jungle manually. There are some vehicles in the game, but they aren't very common, and as you can see, there aren't a whole lot of roads in the first place. So you might want to plan out your journey and knock over each location as you pass them to avoid any unnecessary backtracking later on. Now let's talk about what's different. First of all, they have completely done away with the traditional perk system of Far Cry 5. There are no skill trees or anything like that. Instead, there is a reward system based on what they call survival instinct tokens. So the way it works is, whenever you kill an enemy undetected, you will activate a perk as shown in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. As long as you stay hidden, you will maintain those perks. And there are 4 levels. Right, so the first one is called Adrenaline and allows you to move faster when crouched and also tag enemies within a 10-meter radius. The next one is called Ghost, which lessens fall damage and reduces movement noises. The Sixth Sense perk automatically tags enemies that are about to detect you, as well as makes predators less inclined to attack you. And finally, the Predator perk allows you to tag enemies through walls using the binoculars, as well as increases the auto tag range to 20 meters. In terms of weapons, I didn't really test them all that properly yet. I mainly used the recurve bow for silent kills, and I found a Silence 1911 pistol and Silence 308 carbine sniper rifle. And I held on to the AK just in case shit went down. I picked up the M60 at one point, but barely used it because the way the game is designed is so you are encouraged to play stealthily. The Vietcong completely overrun the jungle, and as soon as you start popping or using explosives, it draws a mountain horde, so that can be quite challenging. Another new feature is the ability to call in an airstrike while looking through your binoculars. You only have a limited number of airstrikes, but you can earn more by completing challenges. But you can only call them in certain areas after you've taken out the anti-aircraft guns. There's also a trophy tied to taking out 25 enemies with airstrikes. You get some good opportunities later on, so don't worry about it too much if you care about achievements and that kind of thing. So that brings us to the journal in the menu screen. At the top you will have the main mission, and they put that at the other end of the map for a good reason. I made a beeline to the main mission, and it's basically just several big combat objectives, and after you've done those, the story ends, but it gives you a warning in case you want to finish up other missions. Once you decide that you are done, you can't return, so it's best to leave this till the end. NVA camps, or Northern Vietnamese Army camps, are pretty much just outposts, as you're probably used to clearing out by now. You can do them methodically with a bit of stealth, or throw out some bait to lure these, what are they? Like leopards or jags? Whatever, black cats. Rescue POWs, prisoners of war. So these can be your squad mates who, if you free, become guns for hire and fight alongside you. These guys can die, so be careful. You're also able to free South Vietnamese soldiers who will give you intel if you free them. Destroy AA guns is a simple task. Just go to the location and destroy the gun with explosives. There are usually more than one at any location. Kill NVA commanders. So these guys are heavily protected, and if they get the sense of danger, they will start gapping it, and you got to chase them down, so best to stay quiet. Usually the South Vietnamese POWs will give you intel on these guys' locations once you free them. And yeah, those are basically all the things you can do. There are in-game challenges, which are mostly the things I've just covered, but there are also collectible lighters, where you find a parachute crash site and have to search within the zone to find a lighter. There are a total of 8, and there are also 8 propaganda speakers that you can find and destroy.
Give up now. It is the only way. Surrender now, and we will not harm you or your comrades.
And that's pretty much it. I would predict that all up it might take around 6 or so hours to complete the whole map if you take your time and enjoy it, maybe a little longer. And there are also those 2 other modes too that I will definitely try out after my first playthrough. And that's it. Hours of Darkness is loads of fun. It's light on story but gives us more to play with and a new environment and enemies to kill. So I'm enjoying it. Thanks for hanging out and watching this video. Thumbs up if you like it and thumbs down if you don't. My name is Dizza. I'll see you on the next one.